We're going to talk about leg locks, and the first thing that we're going to cover is our first leg entanglement, which is Ashi Garami. Standard Ashi Garami, that's the Japanese name for it, just means leg entanglement, is one of 6 leg positions we will ultimately talk about, but it is the position that's we're going to have probably the most functionally easy entries to from outside of leg lock positions, and it's a great launch position for the other leg lock positions. So today we're actually just going to talk about setting up Ashi Garami, how it is set up, and we're going to sit in the position, and we're going to talk about maybe 1 entry, maybe 2 entries on how to sort of get into this position. So let's look first at how to get into this position. So if we both sit facing each other like this, like in a double guard pull situation, if we had both sat down to pull guard, then what I want is this. I'm looking for inside position, inside of his legs. When my feet are inside of his legs, I now have inside position. It's easier for me to get to the position I want. This position, like all positions, is going to be 2 legs controlling one of his legs. So I need 2 legs to control one of his legs. So I actually need to be under his leg with one of my legs. So I'm going to do that. From here, from inside position, I'm going to shoot one leg straight. I'm going to bring my hips as close to him as I can. You can rest on your hands just for ease to see. And I'm going to put my knee over the top of one of his hip joints, over my ankle, over his hip joint. So this is the position I want. I now have 1, 2 legs surrounding and controlling one of his legs. This is the leg I will be attacking. I'm going to put one leg under, push myself in, put my ankle over his hip bone, and put my knee over my ankle. So I want to close that space down. The shoelaces of this foot can be in 2 places. They can wrap underneath this leg, or they can wrap underneath the other leg. If they wrap under this leg, it's easier to clamp down and get a grip here. Easier to do. If my foot's underneath, I can't come near my ankle. But there are times that we're going to do that, like when we kick somebody overhead. For now, I'm going to put this foot over, this foot under, and collapse the knee over here. And I want connection everywhere. So this is lower body. Upper body, what I want to do with my upper body is find my way to having my forearm across his foot like this, where my elbow is about here, where the big toe and index toe meet. And I'm going to try and put that behind me. I just bent the key in the lock, so it's not as easy to pull out. If I just set this up like this, back away from me, yeah, the key comes out of the lock. I'm trying to set up a position where he can't just, pull away. That's not good for me. So I am going to close this down. Then I'm going to use this arm to keep his foot back here. If anything's uncomfortable, just let me know. And I'm trying to keep his leg bent. That keeps me close to him. That keeps his leg caught in the position. And you notice that I'm not just putting my elbow back here, but I'm actually putting my shoulder on the ground. This should keep him in here really good. Yeah, now he can't pull it out because he put it in the lock and we've bent the key. The other things I can do to add tension now are a little bit of a stomp here on his ribs so he can't sit up into me. And I can pull with the other foot to create a tension here. So I'm pulling with my shoelaces and pushing with my heel. So this is the whole position here. I have a lot of connection, I have a lot of control, and you might even get somebody who submits from this, so we want to be careful going into it. Last time, my one leg shoots underneath. Now his leg's like in my workspace, and then I'm going to wrap around. Ankle goes on top, shoelaces go underneath, and I'm going to find his foot with my elbow, put it behind me, and I have now a good grip. I can try to put on that tension where I'm like pulling with these shoelaces and pushing with this. By that I mean I have this going on. This. We can pedal like this forever. This tends to be weak, so it isn't that I'm squeezing like this. I'll burn out really quick that way. But a push and a pull, I can keep a lot of pressure there for kind of a long time. I'm actually pretty strong there. I'm going to use my hands just to control his leg. One above the knee, one below the knee. And right in the pocket right here is calf muscle here is a good place to control this leg. My arms aren't to pull me in. My feet are going to do that. but this is a grip so that his leg does not get away from me. But one of the other ways that someone can get away is if I have too much space, if this is wide open, he can just swim his foot out. He can just kick it up and out. So be a little bit aware as you set this position up, that you hover sort of over this airspace. So can you kick up and out now? No, he should be running into me. So I'm going to hunch a little bit because I am trying to control that foot. I'm going to pull myself in with my legs. Shoot this through. It's okay to put your elbow on the ground. That'll help you move the rest of the way in to here. And again, I'm putting his foot behind me. Got a lot of control here. I've got the tension of a push here and a pull sort of on his sits bone here. So push and pull here. I've got a good tension on my shoulders in front of my elbow, and that's our position. So again, the entry is going to be to control his leg with my upper body. Scoot in, shoot my leg through, come to my elbow to finish setting up, and then I'm going to put his foot behind me. That bends his leg. I'm going to put my tension on. You can hip in also to add tension. This position that we're getting into, this leg entanglement, isn't just the place to be to get a submission. It is useful to think of it as a pin. So I'm trying to pin him in place where he can't go anywhere. So that's why we take away all the space that we do. That's why I bend his leg. One more time to enter. I'm just going to get this connection here on his leg. Scoot in, shoot through, go to my elbow, over his leg, and then finish setting up my position. Okay, so we've done an entry from sitting, and I'd like to do an entry to the position from standing. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put my hands on his abdomen and stand up one leg at a time. He's going to make the decision to open his legs. Sometimes people hold on real tight. Sometimes they open their legs rather than have their hips follow. So this, for you guys, when this is going on, this is going to become like a big danger zone for yourself. Like, you got to know that when you leave your feet next to somebody's hips, that there's all sorts of like foot attacks that I can do, and I can enter this leg entanglement from here. But right now, we are that bad guy. So let me have you guys do this. Hands on the abdomen, stand up, he opens his legs, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to get the grips we just talked about, one below the knee and one above the knee. I'm going to step one of the legs to the middle so that when I sit, which I'm about to do, I have one knee popping up the middle, and we already have our foot under his leg. So I'm really just going to have to sit, bring my heel over, get my hips closer, easier to do once my elbow touches the floor, and I can set up my position from here. So one more time, the entry to Ashi Garami that we're doing is versus closed guard. When I stand and it opens, so it's really this open guard. Here, control the leg, knee comes to the middle. I can bring my foot over now and sit, or you can sit and then bring it over just as soon as you can. When I get my elbow to the ground, it does help me scoot in, finish setting up my position. And from here, I put all my tension on, and I've got control of my guy.